is so proud of God because he's just so on his business. And I don't know when I'll get to post this, but I can tell you every single solitary bit of today has went into the same thing that the Lord has said for weeks. Fireworks have been a prevalent theme in life for me and people that I know for a couple of weeks, and they've been going off on weekdays when there's not a holiday. Weeks ago, not on a holiday. And last night, someone had sent me Happy New Year. And all these fireworks went off on my phone. Well, they didn't know that I had saved a draft for 2 weeks and just released it a couple days ago because the Lord didn't let me release it until then. It was talking about fireworks, but the search bar called it something different. It titled my video, Kodiak Fireworks. What are Kodiak fireworks? Well, Kodiak fireworks are so advanced that it looks like you've painted in the sky, almost like the finger of God just painted it for you. They're immaculate. Look them up and you can enjoy some hours of fireworks, but they typically use them on Chinese New Year. There is a whole new year for God's people. There's a newness in the Spirit, and it's for his people. But also in the newness, I want to take you back to the days of Pharaoh. I want to take you back to the days of Moses. Pharaoh's fireworks were totally different than Moses's. Moses was about to enter a promise, and so were his people. The Lord hardened his heart, Pharaoh's heart, but he didn't harden it for 5 plagues. Pharaoh does that on his own. He was already sitting with a bad heart. The Lord just helped get him to a space where he wanted to chase them into the sea, because his intent was to drown Moses. Moses had no idea what would happen next. All he knew is that when he stretched forth his staff like the Lord had told him to do, the enemy was swallowed up and they were free. This is how the Lord moves. But when I woke up today, I heard a song and I was thinking about the 4th of July. The chills that I got because I know God isn't playing. Now, probably you hadn't heard this song in a long time either. But it's by Toby Keith, and he says, "This nation that I love, it's fallen under attack. A mighty sucker punch came flying in from somewhere in the back. But soon as we could see clearly through our big black eye, man, we lit up your world like the 4th of July." Ouch. It goes on to say, "Uncle Sam put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist, and the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell. And it'll feel like the whole wide world, it's raining down on you, brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue." What's funny, because even in the family that I'm in, where a lot of my family works in justice, I don't think about our nation. I think about freedom. I think about who the sun sets free is free indeed. And I think about that freedom coming and making things right. And you don't need to fret anymore. I know that people and things and entities send things into your camp hoping it'll rattle you. But all it does is make you better. All it does is make you stronger. All it does is make you more favored, and they can't stand it. Because you got something that they'll never have, and that's the favor of the Most High, because you follow him in a way as such, if he never gave you anything, you'd still do it. If heaven wasn't even a thing, you'd still follow him. That's how much you love the Lord. And they don't know how to get there. God is their genie, but he's not. God has never been your genie. In fact, it's so hard for you to even pray for God to make things right, because you know what that means. But hear me when I say this is such a serious word. All you can really do is walk into your newness, because there's nothing you can do to go back and change what God is going to do. He's given them so many chances. So many chances. And I have such a big feeling this is so much about families, so much about personal things, and it has been purposeful hurting, backstabbing, front stabbing, allowing things that should never be allowed, lying and acting like nothing ever happened, when everyone else just looks like they're bleeding out on the ground. But you're not bleeding out. They think you are, but you're not. You're not. You're covered in the blood of the Lamb. It's not even your own blood that's been shed. What a dangerous thing to touch a child of God. What a dangerous thing. I pray that you have the best week. And I pray that when God is done with his vengeance, that they can see him for who he is, appreciate him for who he is, and maybe, just maybe, come home and be different. Not to you, but to God. Here's to the great I Am who always fights our battles for us. And here's to the peace and joy coming your way, because he promised you new, and you shall receive.